Hey, what's up guys? This is Mark from Spantacular.com. Right now we're looking at the Nexus S or Samsung Nexus S. This is a follow-up to the Nexus 1, which Google partnered with HTC for. They said there'll never be a Nexus 2, so we get a Nexus S. With that said, we're going to talk about the device, what we like about it, and maybe a few things that we don't really care for. So with that said, let's take a physical tour and show what we're looking at. First thing you notice right away is a 4-inch Super AMOLED display. It's very bright, very fluid, very pretty. So if you go up top, we've got a VGA front-facing camera for video chat. I flip this thing over. On the rear, we've got a 5-megapixel camera with LED flash. On the side of the device, there's your power button there, power down. On the bottom, we've got a 3.5 audio jack for headphones, and if you still use wired headsets, micro USB for charging and exchanging data when syncing up like a PC or desktop. Audio volume up and down. It's not really much of a rocker, just a volume up and down, and that's pretty much it. Got transparent buttons down here, but that's typical Android stuff. If you pay close attention, this has a really contoured design to where it kind of curves a little bit. That's something they were going for, I guess, to give it some sex appeal or make it look nice and just kind of feel good in your hand. It does feel pretty nice, but as far as what separates this device from any other Galaxy S smartphone on the market right now is, I'm turning stuff down, let me unlock this. What separates it from any other Galaxy S handset is a few things. It's running Android 2.3, which is also codenamed Gingerbread. It ships natively with that. A lot of handsets out there don't have it and may not even get it, but this ships with it. So it's the latest and greatest from Google, and it's pure Android opposed to Android with bloatware. And when I say bloatware, I'm talking about how some of the other Galaxy S devices had TouchWiz, or some of the other Android devices from HTC have HTC Sense. So it's pretty neat. As far as under the hood, you've got a 1 gigahertz processor. It's the Hummingbird processor that's featured in most of the other Galaxy S devices, as well as memory. You've got 16 gigabytes internal storage. So opposed to having an external memory slot like most of the devices have, you notice there was nothing on the side and there's nothing inside here. You pretty much don't have expandable memory. It's just what you see is what you get. 16 gigs is a lot, but I'd like to see an expandable memory slot because that's what a lot of Android users are used to. In addition to that, the device doesn't feature a notification light. So when something happens, you're not going to get anything blinking or anything going or anything to notify you. You just get the standard alert chime or notification, and that's about it. So that would have been something I'd like to see. The biggest bummer about this device is the camera does not have a zoom feature. I don't know how they dropped the ball with that. I don't know where they decided to exclude that, but when you're recording, it does 720p HD video, you cannot zoom in. So I'm going to stress that because a lot of people use their phones as cameras, and not being able to zoom in is just silly. So I feel they really did drop the ball with that. Hopefully they'll fix that in an update or something like that, because that's sort of a letdown. Now I'm not going to just sit here and bash the phone. We're going to talk about what we do like about the device. Battery life's pretty solid. Android 2.3 performs very well. It's very fast. Another thing, I'll just show you how the UI kind of pops a little bit. So we're just going to bring up some of the things here. If you look, when you scroll, it's a nice little 3D effect there. Another thing besides just cosmetic changes is the ability to copy and paste a bit better. It's more refined this time around. I was just going to give a little demonstration of that. You can just tap something. Oh, you don't want to do that. Slide down, and so say I hold my finger on something, it brings that up. All you have to do is just tap away, and it's copied. And for some reason, of course, whenever I try and demonstrate something, okay, let's try that again. So that's copied. You can expand it, and it copies it. So that's kind of nice, but I mean, it could still be a little more refined. But about the device itself, it doesn't have a direct carrier. They did partner with T-Mobile on this device to where you can get it on T-Mobile's 3G, because that's the only 3G it will run on. You can use it on AT&T or other GSM networks, but if you want 3G support, you're going to have to go through T-Mobile. So I mean, it depends on T-Mobile in your area. That's kind of a drawback for some, but if you got T-Mobile coverage in your area, you should be fine. Another thing in regards to T-Mobile, a lot of people are hoping that this device would be an HSPA plus device or 4G device. Unfortunately, it's just 3G. So that was another thing that we're kind of like, it could have been something better. One other thing that this supports, along with the Android 2.3, and that I guess they're incorporating into Gingerbread, is NFC, or near field communication. Basically, I don't know if you've been to any particular merchant or store that has those fast pay passes where you can kind of tap and pay. This supports that. So I mean, it's not new technology, but it's pretty new stateside because the US hasn't really adopted it as much. But basically, you're going to be able to tap stuff and use this as like a virtual wallet. This is pretty neat. A lot of people are kind of on the fence about it, but it looks like the wave of the future. Rumor has it that the iPhone 5 is going to support it as well. So you can say Google's somewhat of a trendsetter with this one. But other than that, the phone is pretty fast. It's pretty zippy. It's pretty reliable for the most part. If you played with a Galaxy S and you liked it, you'll pretty much enjoy this device. It's just the fact that there's a few things that I feel they could have done differently, but I mean, to each his own. So with that said, if you have any questions or concerns about the device, I'll be more than happy to address them. I'm going to get ready to close this thing out. This is Mark from Spantacular.com, and this is the Nexus S from Google. And you see the phone just says goodbye, so thanks for stopping by.